For more on this, I'm now joined by Sahel security expert Niagale Bagayoko in Paris. Hello, Niagale. So France is gradually withdrawing its troops from the Sahel region. Why is that?
In fact, it's been decided last summer by President Macron that it was time to change the kind of deployment that France had in Sahel, the so-called Operation Barkhane. So it's now the time for some positions, in particular in northern Mali, in Kidal, in Tessalit, and now in Tombouctou, to be left to the national forces or to MINUSMA.
So what impact has France had on the fight against extremism in Mali and the overall region?
I think that we can consider that France has been able to reach an important number of tactical victories, but it never has been able to transform them into a strategic victory, which means that, in fact, jihadism has continued to spread all over Sahel and beyond to the coastal countries.
So why hasn't France made any huge success on the ground?
Because I think it has not taken into account the fact that fighting terrorism is not a strategy, it is not a political answer, and that it should have helped its Sahelian partners to find political solutions and to answer the kind of political project that the enemy is promoting. Because jihadists are not simply human bombers, they are also promoting an educational, moral, societal, economical alternative project.
So Mali intends to deploy Russian mercenaries to the Sahel region, but why is France so against it if the end game is to fight terrorism?
I fully agree with you. If you refer to some declaration on President Macron 2 years ago after NATO summit, he made clear that Russia was not an adversary. It was simply someone, a partner who could also be mobilized to fight international terrorism. So I think that the kind of fight we can see today on the immaterial logic between France and Russia is counterproductive, because the issue at stake is fighting those jihadi groups and not to share power and influence in the region.
Okay. As we said earlier, so many foreign troops on the ground for years, but the situation in the region is actually worsening. Isn't it time for a homegrown solution to the crisis?
Yes, I think that there is a dire need to recognize that both military but also civilian actors in development, in governance, has been failing. There is a collective failure, in fact. And in my view, local solutions promoted by national actors at the national level or also at the more local level should be considered much more seriously. And it is the case in particular of the negotiation processes which have been launched in a number of parts of some Sahelian states, in particular in Mali and northern Burkina Faso.
Okay. Niagale Bagayoko, Sahel security expert, thanks for the insights. Now let's stay in the Sahara, where one country has turned to a traditional animal, the camel, to help fight terrorism. Crossing Mauritania's Sahara Desert is best done on camels, so authorities there have resurrected a 100-year-old nomadic police force to boost regional security. Let's meet the Mahari Camel Corps.
This is the latest approach in the fight against jihadist terrorists in Mauritania, a traditional solution to a modern problem. The Mahari National Guard are a police unit recruited from local nomads. Their camels are their most important tool. They're the best way to get around the vast border region between Mauritania and Mali. Jihadist groups linked to Al-Qaeda have gained ground